morning, everybody, and welcome to the last guitar club class, whatever it is that we've been calling it. It was a little bit chilly last week, so I'm glad to see you guys back. I'm going to be talking to you about a number of different things today. One of them is going to be basically how I learned how to play 90% of the songs that I know right now, and it was through the app called Ultimate Guitar. It's free. I never spent a dime on it, and it tabs everything out. It shows you the chords and how to make them. So if you ever have any questions after this lesson about what some of these symbols may mean, or what some of these songs are, how to play them as far as the strumming patterns, all you have to do is just ask me and I'll probably talk your ear off about it. So one of the things that I wanted to go over today was the tabs, because I went over the diagrams a couple of weeks prior. What the tabs mean and what some of the symbols may mean is that you're going to see some slashes to start us off. If I were to see a slash and it were to put me on, I don't know, how about the D string and it says 5/3? Well, what that means is it's going to be a slide, what I had mentioned in the first video. What I do is I go from 5, and without plucking the string again with my right hand, I would just slide this way, and it actually makes 2 notes. Then if I were to see a 3/5, I would just do the exact opposite. Again, it makes 2 notes. Another one is going to be a P. Again, mentioned in that first video, I was talking about hammer-ons and pull-offs, and so what that means is a pull-off. If I see a 5 and 5P3, that means that I'm going to pull off from the 5 and make the second note with the 3, or the 3rd fret. And again, if I see a 3H5, I'm doing the exact opposite. I'm hammering on. Oops. There we go. And you see how it makes 2 notes, but I only have to use this hand once. You see this on a lot of different songs. Like one of my dad's favorites is Over the Hills and Far Away by Led Zeppelin. So you see I could make so many different notes and I only had to use this hand just once to pluck one note and then again to do some strumming. A couple other ones is going to be an X. Sometimes you'll have to purposely mute a string. So say for instance, what is that song? Peace of Mind by Boston. So you see how if I were to tab that out, it would just be a whole bunch of X's, but it's going to form, gosh, I forgot what chord this is, but one of these bar chords where I'm just going back and forth, but I'm not particularly making a note. I'm purposely muting all my strings. Then last but not least, you'll see a B. A B, what that means is that you are going to bend the string. It takes a little bit of effort, and sometimes you may want to use more than one finger in order to actually bend that string. But the reason is so that you can make another note going up a half step or a whole step or however far you can bend that string without, again, plucking or doing another strum. Say, for instance, if it says 5B6, what that means is that I'm going to bend the string enough so that it actually goes up a whole step without me going to the 6. Here's a 5 on the D string. Here's a 6. But if I pluck it once and bend, and trust me, that helps out a ton when it comes to making guitar solos or just doing just any kind of a note playing that you want to do. So again, that's, and it really doesn't matter if you go up or down. For the bottom or for the top strings, you may want to bend down so that you don't accidentally go over the neck board. For the bottom strings, you want to bend up so again you don't accidentally go underneath the neck board. And one last thing. I know I keep saying one last thing, and that's my fault. I'm just brain fart. You may see, if you're using Ultimate Guitar, it will say capo right up at the top. So make sure that you're paying attention to the information up at the top, because it'll give you a lot of really good stuff that you need to pay attention to. Like say, for instance, your tuning. Sometimes you won't have standard tuning. You may have to actually tune your guitar down a half step, or if you're going up a half step or a whole step or so many, then you'll want to use a capo. A capo is beneficial because if I want to use or play a G without that, but it asks for a capo on the 3rd fret, instead of learning a completely different set of chords that will bring me up a whole step and a half, I'll want to put a capo right there, and I can play a G, and you see how it sounds a little bit higher, brighter. And that's because if I were to form the same exact chord without the capo, then again, I'm no longer playing a G. I'd have to play whatever's going to keep me a whole step and a half up. I think that would be like a B or something. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But again, that's what the capo means if you ever see that. You can actually put the capo anywhere you want on the fretboard, and it helps you out just the same. Then, last but not least, I'm going to talk about finger picking. So I've moved away from the Ultimate Guitar and what the symbols may mean. The finger picking is something that you really have to get used to. What I was always suggest, or what I was always told, is just make sure that you use your thumb for your bass notes, and then use your 1, 2, and 3 as much as you can. However, instinctively, I usually use just my thumb 1 and 2. Sometimes I leave my number 3 out to the pasture or whatever. Or sometimes there's some songs that you're only just using your number 1 and your thumb. So say, for instance, if I am playing Breakdown by Revolution. So you see how I just did a pull off right there, and the whole time I've just been using my thumb and number 1 to play that. But since there is no set pattern for finger picking, I guess what I could suggest that you do is either look at YouTube videos about how to guitar pick, just because, again, there's no one set way to pick every single song. There's going to be so many songs that are going to have so many different finger picking patterns. If you want to make up your own, what I would suggest is that you make it an actual pattern, though. What I mean by that is that if you're going to pluck the bass note and then play, I don't know, maybe 2, 3 notes right after that, then pluck the bass note again, then make sure that you're plucking the same amount of notes right after that in order to make it a pattern. Say, for instance, with the Beatles song that I like to play every now and then, it's just... So you see how that bass note will occur every single, gosh, I forgot the count, but you'll actually hear a time interval, a pattern occur every single time. Well, with that being said, I'm going to use my capo on my number 3, and I'm going to utilize the finger picking and some of the techniques that I showed you, and this will be the last song I play for you guys. This is called Merry-Go-Round of Life. Okay, guys, make sure that you practice as much as you can. Get to the level of, practice for 20 minutes a day, then bump it up to 30 the next week if you can, or the next month if you can. get to a point where, hey, I hope that you love playing guitar so much that it's not even considered practice. You just go home in your room, wherever, and you just play your guitar just all afternoon long. If you have any questions whatsoever about how to play, a certain song, or where you can find the resources in order to learn some of these songs, just let me know, and I'll probably talk your ear off about music just because I love it that much. With that being said, guys, I really do appreciate you guys watching these videos, and just keep on practicing. Have fun out there. Bye.